Arjun was a young man full of dreams and ambitions, but he had one major flaw. He was a master of procrastination. He always believed there was enough time to do things later. Whether it was studying for exams, working on personal projects, or even following his passion, he kept pushing everything to the next day, then the next, and the next. His father, Raghav, was a wise man who had worked hard all his life. He had built a successful business from scratch and always emphasized the importance of discipline and time management. He noticed Arjun's habit and grew worried about his future. No matter how many times he advised his son, Arjun would smile and say, "Relax, Papa. I have plenty of time. I'll do it later." One day, Raghav decided to teach Arjun a lesson in a way he would never forget. Early one morning, Raghav gave Arjun a bag of flower seeds and said, "Son, these seeds will bloom into the most beautiful flowers you have ever seen, but you must plant them today." Arjun, still sleepy, took the bag and nodded absent-mindedly. "Sure, Papa. I'll do it later." Days passed and the bag of seeds remained untouched. Every time his father asked, Arjun had an excuse. "I was busy with friends," or "It's too hot outside," or "I'll do it tomorrow." A month went by. One morning, Arjun stepped out to see his neighbor's garden in full bloom. Bright red roses, golden marigolds, and vibrant lilies filled the air with their fragrance. He stood there, mesmerized. He saw his neighbor, an old man, tending to his flowers. Arjun asked, "Uncle, how did your garden grow so beautifully so fast?" The old man smiled and replied, "I planted my seeds the day I got them." "Time waits for no one, my boy." Arjun's heart sank. He rushed back home, grabbed the bag of seeds, and ran to plant them. But when he opened it, he saw that most of the seeds had dried up. The few he planted struggled to grow because the season had changed. The soil was no longer as fertile, and the chance to have a beautiful garden had passed. When he told his father, Raghav sighed and said, "Time is like these seeds, son. If you waste it, you lose opportunities forever. Some chances never return." This incident struck Arjun deeply. He realized how much time he had wasted, not just on the seeds, but on his dreams, his goals, and his life. He thought about the novel he had always wanted to write, the business he dreamed of starting, and the fitness goals he had set years ago. He had done nothing about them, always waiting for the right time. Determined to change, Arjun made a plan. He started waking up early, creating schedules, and dedicating time to his goals. He began reading books on time management and self-discipline. He enrolled in an online business course and started working on his novel every evening. His friends noticed the change. "What happened to the old Arjun who never took anything seriously?" they joked. Arjun smiled and replied, "He learned that time never comes back." Of course, change wasn't easy. There were days when he felt like giving up. There were times when his old habits tried to pull him back into laziness. But every time he felt like quitting, he reminded himself of the dried seeds. Months passed and slowly, his efforts started bearing fruit. His business idea took shape and he launched his first small venture, an online store. His novel, once just a dream, now had a completed first draft. His fitness improved and he felt more energetic and confident than ever before. One day he stood in his backyard and looked at the flowers he had planted after learning his lesson. They were in full bloom, adding color and beauty to the space. He smiled, knowing that just like these flowers, his life was also transforming because he had chosen to act at the right time. Life, however, had one final test for Arjun. A prestigious business competition was announced in his city. The winner would receive funding and mentorship from top entrepreneurs. Arjun wanted to participate, but he hesitated. Self-doubt crept in. What if I fail? What if my idea isn't good enough? That night, his father sat beside him and said, "Son, the biggest waste of time is doubting yourself. The clock keeps ticking, whether you move forward or stay in fear. If you never try, you've already lost." With renewed confidence, Arjun submitted his business plan. He worked tirelessly, refining his idea, practicing his presentation, and preparing for every possible question. The day of the competition arrived. Arjun stood before the judges, his heart pounding. But as he began speaking, something amazing happened. He felt in control. His months of effort had prepared him for this moment. When he finished, the judges applauded. Days later, the results were announced. Arjun had won second place, securing funding for his business. It wasn't first place, but it was a victory nonetheless. It was proof that time well spent always yields results.